Hello and welcome to Real United Talk. Tonight we have a bit of a bonus for everyone who tunes in. We have got two shows rolled into one tonight. Going to do a preview of the game tomorrow, and going to look at Sancho alternatives as well. So, welcome to the boys, Pankaj, Dia, Diedrich. Everyone all right?
Yep.
Yeah, everyone all right. Dia, all right. Mauritius, yeah?
All right, very good.
He's all right. Diedrich, Newcastle, lovely as ever. Right, let's get straight into it then. Preview tomorrow, Sevilla. I watched the highlights yesterday of Wolves against Sevilla. I think it's going to be a tough game. Sevilla look really compact. They played. The defensive line was really tight. Masters of the competition. They've won it a fair few times. I think it's going to be a tough game, but ultimately, I think United will come through it. But I think it's going to be won by the odd goal. So, Pankaj, Sevilla, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a really tight game. I really don't know. I think we will win the game. It's going to be a really tough game. I would say 2-1, and Igalo is going to score a scrappy goal in my opinion. Right in the game.
You think Igalo starts tomorrow, yeah, or come off bench?
I think he comes off the bench. I don't think so. He'll start in. It's a semi-final game, so he's going to go with his strong team: Greenwood, Rashford, Martial, with the same team he went against Copenhagen. So, it's going to be the same.
Max is here. Mark's here. Max says hello to everyone. Max says you should play our strongest team as well.
Hello,
I totally agree with Max.
Max.
And Mark, he says, Diedrich, you're as bad as me. Keep still. He's trying to get his make sure get his good side in there.
No, it's there was too much light coming in.
Red Devil says, "What has Diedrich got on TV in the background?"
What have I got on?
Yeah, what's on TV in the background? When you was closing the curtains, TV was on.
It is UFC 4, the game. I'm just watching somebody play it.
Oh, okay. All right. Nice.
It's not
Red Red also says evening all, evening to Red. Dear Sevilla then. Did you watch the game against Wolves? What do you think? What's the United chances?
Yeah, I think Sevilla will be a very tough game. They are very good opponent, quality players, the defenders. They are Carlos, centre back, who are very good. And I think we will have to work very hard to be able to. We have to stay in the game. We have to be consistent. I saw the training on Man United as well. So I think Solskjaer is gonna mean business. He wants to go into the final, and they will give it all. I think they will go with a strong lineup. I think with Martial, Pogba, and so on. And I think Romero will start as well. And it will be a very tough game as well. We have to be very consistent in such kind of game, and especially if you want to be in the final, like a tough opponent like Sevilla, who has proved against us last time we faced them. But I think it will be a very large small margin goal, like 2-1. I think United.
Diedrich, big football fan outside of the Premier League. You know your stuff. What do you know about Sevilla? You think it's tough for United?
See, I don't want this one to come back and bite me on the ass. I see this game potentially. I think it can go, obviously, like most games, it can go either way. I think. Anyone else hear that noise? Like a bell ringing? Must be going insane. I think it's either going to be a case of we show up with a strongest possible 11. I think we either win this quite easily or we get beat by a scrappy goal, like the whole Old Trafford game when Ben Yedder came on. Obviously, Ben Yedder no longer plays for them, but They haven't won this competition 7 times for nothing. They know if anybody's going to come through this, and I think it'll be Seville. I think whoever wins this match potentially wins the tournament. Because I think if we have enough firepower to get past Seville, I'm hoping that we can turn Inter Milan over just to get one back. Because imagine how humiliating that would be if Inter Milan beat us in the final. Fucking Lukaku, Sanchez, and actually go on to lift a trophy. It can't be allowed to happen. So yeah, I think pretty much whoever wins this match lifts the trophy.
Yeah, even though, bear in mind, could be Inter or Shakhtar in the final. Whoever wins this, even though Inter or Shakhtar are in the final, whoever wins this tie wins the competition.
Yeah, definitely. I more than likely.
Yeah.
If Seville get to it, if Seville are good enough to beat us, they're good enough to beat Inter Milan. I think we're a better team than Inter Milan. And I think if they can get past us, they'll fancy the chances because they haven't got necessarily the same players that won the Europa League. Every other time they might not even have the same manager, but something's ingrained into that. It's like Real Madrid in Champions League. You automatically, when you think Champions League, first team you think of pretty much is Real Madrid, isn't it? They've won it the most times. Just like you think Europa League, you instantly think Seville. So I think if we're good enough to get past Sevilla, whatever you want to call them, I think we'll pretty much have a good. Like I said, whoever wins this is winning it.
So Max said, play the stronger side. I totally agree with that. De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire. Probably Lindelof goes in at centre back. Williams, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Rashford, Martial. That's the team I go with for the semi-final. Any changes to it, Pancard, or do you go all out now and hopefully get through the tie and get through to the final?
I think Ollie might go with the same team he went against Copenhagen. He might start Fred, Pogba, and Bruno in the midfield. I don't think
Fred
so.
didn't really impress in that game, though, did he?
Yeah. But maybe you need someone off the bench to kind of impact the game because if you're gonna play your first 11, then who's on the bench really to make that impact on off the bench? If you need what?
Any changes? Do you go full strength?
Yeah, like Pankaj saying, maybe he's referring to a game changer, like the situation of a game.
Yeah.
Player step up but I believe Ole will go with the stronger lineup. Maybe he won't risk Bailly. He will Lindelof will be starting, but Bissaka. We have as well Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. And we, like Dedrick said, we have to kill the game. We have to kill this game as soon as possible. Like we can't afford to do like we did against Wolves, which was very frustrating. We have a lot of players with fatigues and so on. I think we have to capitalize on this now, and we try to go and kill the game, and don't because like Derek said as well, Sevilla is a club who have great experience in that competition. I think they did quite well on since lot of time, and if we take this for granted, we shall be punished severely by everyone. And if we want to go in the final, we have to beat Sevilla, and ultimately, I think we will win this competition if we beat Sevilla, and whatever the opponent come in the final, whether it is Inter, we will win because we will have what it takes.
Okay, fair enough. Good points there, dear. I mean, Diedrich, chance for a trophy. Apart from Premier League title, was probably the best trophy we could have gone for this season. 2 semi-finals in the League Cup and FA Cup.
Yeah.
Is it going to be third time lucky, mate? Does he go with the strong team? Does he change it? What do you do if you're Solskjaer?
You have to play your strongest 11. There's generally no point rotating now. Fucking in the semi-final of a competition, is there? there's generally no point because you've only got this game, and then if you get through it, one more game, and then that's it. They're all off till September. So I don't see a way in which, to be fair, I was quite surprised he put Bay in against who did we even play? The Copenhagen. I was even surprised he even did that. So I think it'll have to be strongest 11. And I'm sorry, what was the question, Marcus? Apart from that,
any other changes? Do you think there'll be? I mean, Carl was on about Fred. He didn't exactly play well, did he, against Copenhagen? I thought.
No. I'd say yes. I'd literally start David De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Lindelof, Williams, Matic, Pogba, Fernanda, and literally just go at them strongest 11. There's no, like I said, there's no point. There generally is no point. But at the same time, obviously, I want to see us win a trophy. If anything, just to stop the fucking banter. To stop the banter and to shut Arsenal. We all know they've won a trophy now, haven't they? We can't have I was saying a couple of weeks ago, well, I'm not that bothered about this. It will hurt if we don't win it. I've got to admit, I can't see. If we don't lift a trophy this season, it looks bad. Although we've got the Champions League from a position we didn't look like we did. That is obviously a bonus, but we can't have it where a season where Liverpool lift the Premier League, Leeds get promoted and lift the Championship trophy, Arsenal win the FA Cup, and Man United finish third. We have to. We have to now. Just to even save a bit of face and to save ourselves a little bit of banter, really. Yeah, if I were Ollie, I'd be saying that to the players. I'd be saying, look, Liverpool, our arch rival, they've won the Premier League. Arsenal, we're never going to fucking end of that for another 5 years, are we? Fucking I won an FA Cup. Leeds, the noisy fucking lot, who all of a sudden think they're mint again, even though it's took them 16 years to get back in the Premier League, they're not going to shut up. So yeah, definitely has to go hard on this one.
I'm quite proud of this. A personal thing to me. Martin Smith says, "Shout out, Marcus." That's the first time ever on this channel someone's actually personally asked me for a shout out. So, there you go, Martin. You're welcome.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, and the like, share, subscribe thing from fan cards.
How much did he pay you, Martin? Come on and say
that. Jessica says need to put out a strongest team. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with that. Well done, Diedrich. Well done. Ollie is pretty strong about winning it. Yeah, I mean he's talked the talk, isn't he, for this competition up till now. I did read an interview from Bruno that said that if they get through and win this competition, it will set the standard for the mentality for next season, where they they will obviously challenge for the Premier League title amongst other things. Akil says losing 3 semi-finals in the season is not good for the confidence of players going into the next season. Getting a trophy will be huge.
We don't want to come up in Spurs, do we?
Yeah, and Martin says I paid him 20 quid. So moving on then. I mean, I think score prediction for tomorrow, I think it's going to be 2-1. I think Pancard, you said 2-1 as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dia, what are you going with? I think it's going to be a tight game, mate. I already do.
Yeah, it would be a tight game. I'll go in with 2-1 as well.
2-1. Yeah, Diedrich?
We either win this 2-0 or we get beat by a scrappy goal 1-0.
Yeah, I honestly think there's only going to be one goal in it. But
Spanish teams are always susceptible to pace, so it's either going to be a case of we kind of dominate them, getting behind them nice and early, create a lot of chances, or it's going to be a case of a typical Spanish shithousery. They're going to somehow grab a fucking goal and then just basically shithouse their way to the final.
Yeah,
I think Greenwood. If it's 1-0, right? I think Greenwood will score. Will be the only goal scorer.
Do you know what? I think he's talking about Greenwood. I think United for Greenwood, Pancard, he has been United's revelation this season. He's almost
Yeah.
been like a secret weapon, and other
Yeah.
teams don't know how to do with it.
Yeah.
You know, I bet
But then,
like
but I have a fear about Greenwood because now players are like, okay, we can't able to figure out what he's going to do. But once defenders know what he's going to do in the box, and once they realize, they will have a plan for him as well. So that's my worry, that they're going to figure, if they what if they figure out him. That's what I'm saying. It's really important if you get the Sancho deal done, because
yeah,
Sancho's a type of player. He's just not like a direct player. He can do skills. He can do unpredictable things that defenders can't even imagine. Because Greenwood, okay, he does this basic twist and turns right in the box. From it's looking like he's going to shoot from his left, but he shoots from his right. That's a basic thing. But what Sancho does is a little different. Like, it's unpredictable. So that's just really
yeah,
important to get Sancho. Really important.
yeah. This is why Mason
Sing it,
Greenwood.
Pankaj, sing it.
We have to nurture him. We have to nurture Greenwood.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he
yeah.
go to the next level.
By the way, can I just clear some up in case no one believes me? I actually was watching someone play UFC. I wasn't watching porn or anything like that. Don't worry. I wasn't watching men wrestle or anything like that.
It never crossed our mind, Diedrich. It never crossed our mind. Mark says you love a good Sevi, don't you, Mark? I do, mate. Yeah, you do know it. Mark says Bruno penalty 1-0. I hope it's not that. I hope we don't see a penalty.
As much as I'd take to be fair, I'd take one going in off Rashford's ass at this moment in time, right? But you prefer to fucking have them through open play, don't you? The excitement of a penalty is just like, you get a goal for it, but nobody watches football to watch fucking penalties constantly going. Otherwise, we'd be rugby fans, wouldn't we?
Yeah, I'm getting sick of the games being decided, mate, by a penalty. It's doing my head in.
But as long as you win games and you get a trophy, I don't really care if you win by penalties.
Well, no, yeah, I mean,
for this tournament.
Yeah, but I don't know about anyone else, but I like to see a good game of football. I just think having a penalty in the 89th minute, it's game over. Akil says he wouldn't be opposed to the idea of starting Romero over De Gea. He doesn't trust De Gea in big moments anymore. Mark says that Stevanovic is 2-footed too.
Yeah,
go on.
I was going to say, going back to the whole penalty thing, I mean, this is one way to settle the argument. I can't remember the last time I said to one of my friends, say, what, did you see that fucking penalty overnight? You don't say that, do you? You go, did you see that goal overnight? Or did you see that free kick? Did you see that 30-yard goal? I mean, fair enough, a goal's a goal, right? But fucking hell, you're never gonna rewatch a game and go, oh, say what, this penalty that decides this match was amazing. Oh yeah,
yeah,
it's just not. You want to see open play goals.
It's boring. I think. I mean, it's nice. If United get the penalty and we win.
Yeah.
But it's not exactly a wow moment.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. If we get a penalty in this game and we'll win 1-0, and then we win the final by a penalty, I won't exactly be complaining because a trophy's a trophy. But there's a way to do things, I guess. Suppose.
Well, Mark says you change that channel quick, Diedrich.
Let's not even talk about Mark's channel, shall we?
Akil says it would be difficult for defenders to predict the movement of Greenwood as he can go both ways and is both footed. And that plays into what I said just
Mark
now.
Mark both ways, doesn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah. He's so unpredictable. He's United's secret weapon. I don't think you can man mark the lad. I just think at this moment in time, mate, you just don't know where to position yourself with him because you don't know where he's going to go. Mm-hmm. We've seen a few times. I've certainly seen a few times where I think he's running down a blind alley and it's ended up in the back of the net. So the kid is a real live wire if he's on form. But yeah, I think I would fancy Mason to get a goal tomorrow night. I really would. Jay Hart reckons Greenwood's going to get the winning goal as well. Mate, I just think this kid has come such a long way this season. Bruno spoke highly of him in that interview as well that I was reading on Sky Sports. So, yeah, I think 2-1 for me. I think Greenwood's going to get on the score sheet. And, I think Bruno's going to get it as well. I really do. I don't see how Sevilla can pick up both Pogba and Bruno in that midfield three and keep both of them quiet throughout the 90 minutes. The game against Wolves, I didn't really see much attacking threat from Sevilla. They're an organised team. They're a hard team to break down. But for me, they didn't create that many opportunities against Wolves at all. Nothing clear cut. But I think it's unanimous then. United win it by the 1 goal, either way. Dear, you're the positive one, yeah? You should be cheering and jumping up and down here. Yeah?
I saw Sevilla play. I think they are very tough opponent. They are good in the air as well.
Okay, all right, yeah, fine.
Tough, yeah. The defender, we should be very cautious and corner and free kick.
Martin says 4-0. Mate, if that happened, that would be a good watch for me.
Nah, not going to happen. Impossible.
No, I don't think it will happen, but it would be a good fucking watch. Mind you, no one
predicted fucking Bayern Munich to beat Barcelona 8-2, did they?
Yeah. Anything can happen. I read that the average age of that Barcelona side last night was like 29. Yeah. Mate, they need a serious fucking overhaul in that team.
Yeah. The manager was sacked just right after the game.
If
you take out the spine of a team, you can have as good forward as you fucking want. If no one's giving them the balls, they're not going to do shit.
But to be honest, Barca's the way the structure of the club has gone is damaged a bit because
it's too political.
Messi is it looks like Messi is control of the club. That's what it seems.
Yeah. If anything, as much as he's an amazing player, I bet they can't wait for him to fucking retire in a sense. So you've literally got players coming in, and whether he likes them or not determines on how well they. Anyway, let's get off this. This is where Man United fan channel.
Yeah, because everything it seems like everything is played through Messi, and it's not like they're not playing as a team. It's like Messi wants the ball, and it's like everything is played through him. That's what I feel.
But Gerald Piqué make a statement yesterday. I think he said that he's willing to step up, step down, and then don't want to continue. Maybe if he has to go, he has to go. Blame back, but we need a change in the structure, in the whole structure. He's taking all the blame, and I saw him yesterday saying.
That's all. I mean, Jay Hart says it. They had the same 6 from 11 from the 2014 Champions League winners. Mate, I mean, you're going back fucking 6 years there, and you still got 6 out of 11 in that team. Mate, they need an overhaul. Akil says, I think this game's got goals in it. Sevilla won't park the bus, and they'll leave a lot of space at the back. I fancy United to cause some damage. I fancy Greenwood to cause the damage, mate. I really do. Mark says that Matic will score the winner. So... so on to the next part of the show then. I think we pretty much wrapped up the preview there. We're going with United win it. We're going with a full strength side, probably the 1 goal in it. So second part of the show then, we're going to look at Sancho alternatives because it's gone very, very quiet again, isn't it? Another one coming out of Dortmund and saying that he's not going nowhere. But Pankaj, he was signed last week, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. That's what I thought. He was.
Yeah,
I mean, people are saying, "Oh, I know this." My guy said,
your guy,
he's coming. The deal is agreed. On some fucking channel, which has 700 sort of subscribers or something. my guy said.
Mate, I read it as, Martin, mate, come all you got to do is just DM me, man. Just DM me when you want to come on. Sancho's joined the pre-tour. That's it, Harty. He was playing the other day, didn't he? He played 45 minutes. He come out of that. He's done an interview saying that this is a talented bunch of lads he's got with Haaland and Bellingham and himself and the rest of them that are following. I don't see it, you know. I mean, George Kyle, he told me again.
Are we about
100%.
Sancho here?
Yeah.
But
Didn't Kylie say,
But,
didn't he, during the week? 100% this week it would be done. Where is
Look,
he?
listen.
but to be honest, yeah, go on.
Right. Sancho will come. I mean, I understand about the comments about him praising his teammates and stuff like that. He's going to have to do that. He has to save face just in case the move doesn't come out. He's not going to go on to the interview and go, fucking shit, these lot, aren't they? I'm off. He's not going to do that. And in relation to George Kyle, unless it's advice about training, about ties, blazers, and other attire that he may like from Topshop, I don't really want to know.
but to be honest, Sancho hasn't been training with Dortmund for 2 days. That's what the news are saying. I don't know if it's true or not. So there's a video clip as well of him not training with the squad. He trained alone.
Rodney is around.
I don't know.
My man Rodney.
Rodney, yeah.
I want to give a special shout out to Rodney, actually, Rodney, from all of us here to do with this, all right? I've been reading your tweets and stuff, and I know what's going on, so I hope everything's working out for you, mate, at the minute.
Keep it up,
mate. Hart says, Pancars, your guy from that other channel are the same as the Daily Mirror and the Sun, all rubbish.
I don't have any guy, bro.
Akil says, apparently Sancho has been training alone for the past 2 days. Can't see this deal happening unless he puts in a transfer request. I've said, do you know what? I've near enough said that all along, mate. He's not the type of guy who's going to create a fuss, dig his heels, and turn around and say, I'm not playing unless you let me go. He's not that sort of lad, man. He respects Dortmund.
He can't come out and do that because he's got 2 years, maybe 2 or 3 years left of his contract.
Yeah.
He comes out and does that and pulls a bail. At his age, nobody's going to touch him again. Gareth Bale does that. Everyone says, oh, well, he's fully within his rights too because he's done this, he's done that and that. If Sancho does it at his age, it'll be, oh, he's got a bad attitude, he's a youngster, so he can't really do that. He's almost got to play both sides off against each other, just in case the move doesn't go through. I think it will. I think he's just saving his face. And the thing about him training alone is you also had 2 other Dortmund players who trained alone, Damoud and someone else, Delaney, I think he's called. So that can't be looked into that much. Sorry.
They were injured. Those 2 were injured, so they trained alone.
Yeah.
With Sancho.
So maybe
Sancho wasn't injured. Yeah.
Dear mate, is it going to happen? Come on. I know what you're going to say. You're going to say yeah, because I want to bring in some positivity here, mate. Because you know, Pancard numbing it down a bit. So
yeah,
come on.
Just not now. I think he's handling the situation well, like Dedrick said. Like he's being professional, like a 20 years old guy. He has to master that because he has not really proven anything in other competition or winning trophies. So I think he will try to handle the situation. But his heart is set at Man United. He definitely said he wants to be at Man United. Manchester United want him, but they're not willing to pay the money. But they should be fucking paying that money. Very true, I think. And I think he will end up.
Yeah. But to be honest, I just want to say that if the personal terms are true, that Sancho has agreed personal terms with United verbally, then the player wants to come to us. So it depends upon us if we want to pay the money, because we have to pay the fee. So if we bid for 120 million, right? So we will get the player, and whether it's add-ons or something, or it's in installments. I think because we didn't make any offer yet. We're just negotiating for the deal, or we are talking to his agent. We're not in direct contact with the club because there was a mediator, or there was someone, an agent involved in the deal, like for sorting out the deal, like
for because I think it was the same guy who sorted out the Dembele deal and the Aubameyang deal as well. So
It depends. It
it's
depends
gonna
who you believe and what you believe. There's
yeah
arguments for and arguments against it at the moment.
yeah.
You've got some people coming out and saying that Man United did make an offer. We had an offer accepted. And then once we kind of knew we had that, we then started backpedal. We went, right, well, actually, Dortmund apparently wants 70 million up front, 30 million, 20 million. Apparently, we had that sorted out. And then at the last minute, we've then actually gone, well, no, how does 60 million, 20 million, all that lot, apparently. But then you've got also stories coming out saying we haven't even made an offer yet. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody truly knows. Like I said, I hope this goes through. I mean, I know we're going to talk about something in a minute
because the club has spent so much time in this. The club has spent so much time in investing in this deal. So much time, like.
That's my argument, Pankaj. Why would you even go to the extent of even going through a third party to agree a contract with him in principle to say, if you come, we'll offer you this much? Why would you be willing to offer him a contract if you wasn't sure that you could have a bid accepted?
Rodney says, was he on the ferry over to Dover last night, mate? Because Jay Hart said he was eating McDonald's at Heathrow. Max says, Marcel Sabitzer, 13 goals, 10 assists. Lucas Campos, 15 goals, 4 assists. I think that's Max's shouts for buying buying at the minute. Max also says, Pau Torres is a good centre-back too. Seems like Gabriel is not going to United. I read that Gabriel had signed a new contract.
I've heard he's going to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal,
Mark says, shit, did Diedrich just shrink on stream? He looked tiny as you delay. Akil says the transfer window is going to be crazy. Juventus want to move Ronaldo off the wage bill. Messi might want to leave after that horror show yesterday and plenty more. I agree with Max. I think Messi and Ronaldo stay where they are. I can't believe them clubs, Barcelona and Juventus, shipping them two out, to be honest, because of what's happened this season. Jay Hart would prefer Kai Havertz to Savitzer. More speed on him.
Did you hear what Guillem fucking Balaguer said the other day?
Guillem Ballbag.
Guillem Ballbag. Apparently, what Juventus are going to try to do to offload some funds and pay wages, they're going to fucking offer him to Barcelona.
Yes, I did read that on Twitter, yeah. As if he would go to Barcelona. I don't think he would.
No. I think Ronaldo's next move is probably America.
America, yeah.
I
don't think he'd ever go to China. Right, we're going to play a little game in there then, right? Because I've got 5 people, okay, that are legitimate players that we've been linked with, and one who's an unknown who's come from my source, Mark Atherton, right? So we shall see how we get on. Basically, what I'm going to do, I'm going to read you out the stats, right? Read out where they're from, who they are. You give me a quick for and against. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Right. First one we got up then. If it loads. Right. Leon Bailey. Right. Bayern Leverkusen. Joined 2017. He's contracted until 2023. Jamaican, 23 years of age, left winger. So far this season, he has, let me just check the goal stats. In the Bundesliga, he's 22 appearances, 5 off the bench, 5 goals, 3 assists. I mean, what do you think, boys? Quite young, obviously a talent. He's got some good stats for him, mate. Jamaican, 6 caps, 1 goal. Would you go for him or not?
Not good enough.
Pankaj is saying no. Right, why not Pankaj? Come on.
Because first of all, he's a left winger, and if you're gonna buy a left winger and play him on the right again, if you're playing a left winger on the right side, it's not a suitable option basically, because you got Daniel James, who was a left winger at his previous club in the Championship. We bought him, and then we played him on the left, at the start of the season. Then we shifted him to the right. So I know, and then he kind of his form kind of dipped, because I think Daniel James, he's a good player, but he plays well on the left side. That's his position.
Okay, so that's a no from you then, mate. Yeah.
No, no,
Okay,
and
Dear,
not
mate. Leon.
and not enough
yeah.
goals and assists as well. Not enough goals and assists. So yeah.
Okay, all right. Dear, Leon Bailey.
Yeah, I think we take the risk to take Leon, because if we are dealing with a player like Sancho, we need someone to fill in that gap, and especially that he's also on the left wing. So for me, Leon is a good for a talent player, yes, to integrate Man United to play, but competition you already have. Uh, you're having competition with Daniel James and so on. But I think you won't suit Man United.
Okay, so pretty mixed there for me, Dear. So would you go
Yeah.
or no? No.
No, I don't.
Okay, mate. Look, that's 2 against Diedrich. Your turn.
It's going to be 3 now.
Gonna be 3. Okay.
No,
Go on,
I
boy.
wouldn't take him either. There's no point. Generally, there's no point. We're after a right winger, not a left winger. I don't see much of what Bailey offers that Rashford can't offer. Either way, if you put playing on the wing isn't like what it used to. You're either a right winger that's going to chop in on your left every now and then and constantly be whipping balls in, or you're a right-footed, or you're an inverted winger. It's one or the other. I just don't see it. I don't think he's an upgrade on what we have either. I mean, if you can't improve, I understand is what we say. What I always say, we need strength and depth. We don't always need to better a position. We just need to better the backup. But for what Bailey, not Bailey,
Leon Bailey.
Well, Bailey would cost. There's no point. There's better alternatives out there.
Well, Mark, I did try and beat the drum for you, mate, but I'm outvoted, I'm afraid. 3 against, mate. Let's see. Max says Leon Bailey has not been consistent, so I would not go for him yet. Mark says, I don't know if you read that, guys, but Mark said, thank you, chatting shit, mate. Max says, we're now being linked with Benoit Badiashile. I've said that
What
right.
about Zaha? Someone mentioned
Hang on,
Zaha.
mate, hang on. Whoa. Hang on. It's all in the list, right? It's all in the list. Don't panic. All right. But speaking of Zaha, Akil says, why can't we get Zaha if he is available for, say, 40 million? And I think we have a buyback clause. Oh, look at him. Isn't he sweet? Isn't he sweet? Oh,
Ginger.
Oh. Max says Zaha's stats for the season have not been great. I don't think he'll want to come back. I don't think he'll come back, Max, either. Right, on to the next one then. Kingsley Coman. Just wait for it to load up. Right. Kingsley Coman. Here we go. Right. Transfer market value, apparently, for Kingsley Coman is 36 million. Right. Plays for Bayern Munich. Joined in 2017. Got a contract until 2023. 24 years of age. Plays for France. He's had 22 caps for France, 4 goals. Primarily left winger. 24 games in the Bundesliga, 4 goals, 4 assists, 7 as a sub. So Kingsley Coman, heavily linked United with a loan deal for this lad. Let's go with Diedrich here. This one. What do you think, mate?
If it generally is that Sancho isn't available and Coleman, if we can get him on a loan maybe to buy, so we can assess it at the end of it, and it means maybe a loan, and if he does any well, we can get him at like a cut price deal for like 20-30 million. Yeah, definitely. If it means we have to find somebody who can just sit there for it, if it means we can get somebody who's prepared to come to us on a loan until maybe next year. If we can't get Sancho this year, if we can get somebody in for a year and maybe with the, like I said, cut price loan to buy, so that we could get Coleman in this season, have him do a job, and if he does well, get him for like 20, 30 million, and then get Sancho as well, because then you still getting strength in numbers, aren't you? So yeah, I'd go for it, but only if that's the case. I don't see it as if it's a case of we get Coleman and that's it. Our right wing is sorted for the next 4 years. Then no, because I don't see. I see there's still upgrades available out there, but they're not available right now.
Right, let's say then, Diedrich, Sancho deal is off. Do you go for him or not?
I go for him for a year, yeah, until Sancho next year.
Okay. Right, dear, come on, my mate, give me some positives.
I go for him for a loan move, especially for a loan move, not permanently, because I saw him play. I don't know if he's going to adapt in the Premier League, just like it was for Angel Di Maria. But I think if we get the chance to sign him on a loan deal, and then we see after his first season if he performs well, then we go for him. But alternatively, for long term, I don't see Coman. I see another player who have more character to come to provide the depth players who's gonna have an impact on Man United, like with a character player, with a player who can step up and do something. But I'm gonna have him for maybe on a loan deal. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Right. That's 2 yeses in my book. Pankos?
No, not at all.
What's the matter with this lad?
In any kind of scenario, no, because we don't
You
really
wouldn't have
loan
him even
players
if Sancho's not available. You wouldn't take him.
No. The reason is I don't really like us like loaning players then, for temporary purpose, because there's no guarantee you're going to get Sancho next summer, because I think clubs like Barcelona, Real Madrid are going to come in for him, and he's going to cost way more. He's going to cost way more than 120, because next summer
he's got a transfer value of 33 million. So if there's no Sancho, right, and you don't want this lad, you're quite happy with Lingard, Pereira, and Mata for another season, yeah?
No, I didn't say I would. But I wouldn't go for him. I would go for any other option. Yeah.
Do you know what puts me off? I said it to you the other night, Marcus. The one thing that would put me off about anything is, besides a select few, which one only really springs to mind, and that's Ballack. Right. Not many players that leave Bayern when Bayern want you to stay. Very rarely you get a player out of Bayern that Bayern don't want rid of. Schweinsteiger, they wasn't that arse to lose him. Cruz only left because Guardiola didn't rate him. Yeah. But besides that, you very rarely see Bayern lose a player. If Bayern don't want you to go, then you're not going to go. You won't be. Bayern don't tend to get rid of world class stars and world class players. So if they see you as not good enough, then they'll be happy to let you go. But if they still believe in you, then they'll fight tooth and nail for you.
Well,
imagine. Yeah. Sorry, so go on.
No, go on.
Imagine if scenario comes in, okay, like Diedrich just said, okay, let's say we get Kingsley Coman. I wouldn't be against it on loan for maybe an year, and then we loan him. We just let him go, and then we try and get Sancho. And what if Bayern Munich come in for him and they sign him? Then we're not going to get him. Like it's done. Like, because they don't really sell players, right? After buying them.
Well, Rodney reckons Koeman would never leave Bayern. Max is near enough saying the same. I don't see why Koeman would leave Bayern to come to us. Yeah. Also, sources said that it was untrue that he'll join. Akil says Koeman wouldn't leave Bayern and is injury prone. St. Mark, we're going to come to that one in a minute. And Rodney says Owen Hargreaves knackers knees. Well, on to the next one then. Adama Traore.
We're not going to promise.
Not yet, mate. Not yet. I've got it all in order here, so don't confuse me. All right, so I might suddenly just click end stream then, and I'm not sure why. So Adama Traore, let's see, 24 years old, 103 appearances for Wolves, 5 goals. He's featured in 26 wins, 46 losses. He's had 12 assists, 1,382 passes. He's got an average of 13.42 passes per match. Chances created is 13 with 318 crosses. He's got a shooting accuracy of 28%, 21 shots on target at 75. I like Adama Traore. I think an underrated player. I think for a lesser team, I wouldn't be opposed to seeing this lad come to United. I think he's built like a fucking tank. I think he's got so much speed for a muscly guy. He's got a decent cross on him. He can dribble. He works hard. He can track back. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing this lad at United on the right hand side, mate, instead of Sancho, in case that deal goes tits up. Dear, I know it's getting late for you, mate. Traore,
He's
what do
a
you think?
tank. He's an English Premier League proven. He has proven it, and he's been solid. I think he remind me a bit of Valencia running on the right hand side. So, but for me, United to have a player like Adama Traore, I don't know if he will be able to sustain that level in United squad. You know, that strong. He's strong. He's quality, but I don't think he will be consistent in United. I think he will
Why has
be.
Pankars removed himself then?
Yeah, I think he won't be consistent in United. I don't know why. I have got this feeling. He's strong, yes, but maybe tactically to be Ole system player, I don't think he's gonna suit us. He's strong. He's robust. I understand what you're trying to say, but for me personally, I don't think.
So, go on, dear, from your mouth. Yes or no?
No, I think.
No? Oh, mate. Our friendship's borderline now. You know that, right? Diedrich Traore, you know about him, mate. Let's go.
100%. 100%. Take him in a heartbeat. Literally just so you could watch all the so you could watch Michael Carrick and McKenna oil him up on the sideline. I've seen that
baby lotion out on him.
Yeah, apparently they rub oil on him and fucking a bit weird, that, wasn't it? I'd take him just for that, but no, there's not many things that you can say against it, really. Yes, he could. He sometimes leaves a bit. He sometimes is a bit lacking going forward. He's not always going to pick the easiest ball, but he's a risk taker. He's not always going to. He's not going to be one of those wingers yet that's going to bang you 20, 30 goals a season. But he takes risks. He's willing to. He wants to run at your fullbacks. He wants to, cause problems. He's big. Obviously, the guy's built like a fucking brick shithouse. The guy's quick as well. There's so many reasons for it. I can't think of many negatives really. Besides, what's he like in the air? His final ball's a bit lacking every now and then, but it's going to be at Wolves. They're a bit of a defensive team, aren't they? If he's got more people moving forward, maybe assists will go up. Maybe he gets more chances at United. Yes, you can look at his previous clubs where he's failed. He hasn't done really well. I think has he played for Villa? I think it's Villa, Middlesbrough, and Barcelona. I think he started off. But yeah, I'd definitely take him. And providing it doesn't cost you fucking 60, 70, 80 million because of the English league tax.
I think you get him for about 40, 45, 50 at a push. I think that'd be good business, mate. Pankars, Traore.
He's a good player, but it's very easy to be a very good player for a team like Wolves, who are not like a big club. And do you have any pressure? Because when you come to United, there's always a pressure for every player. And Look, if you sign him, I wouldn't be against it. He's good as a good player. But if you're telling me he's my first choice, definitely not. And if it was my if I was Ed Woodward, I wouldn't sign him.
But
Because
Packard, you're very hard to please tonight, mate.
Right, Pancakes,
what is,
can I just rebuttal one of your arguments? I don't mean to always pick up on you, but you're saying,
yeah.
right, I get what you're saying. It's thingy, but based on your
Mhm.
logic that because he plays for Wolves, would you not take it's called what's it called the centre defensive midfielder
Neves.
Neves? Would you take
Neves.
Neves?
No, no,
Really?
I would take him.
no. What does he do apart from okay? He's a good player in like a defensive style, but is he like he does when he has goals in him, he just scores goals. Apart from that, does he do much like in the defensive side? Like because I've seen Wolves this season, they have not been like that great like in previous seasons. Like so,
Oh,
Neves he's a
are,
good player, but I don't
are we
know.
in about Neves here? Are we in about Traore?
He'd got Traore.
Traore defensively. I don't know.
Does he like?
I don't
Because like
really assess my right wingers on fucking defensive ability. Uh,
no, talking about
um,
Neves for Neves.
Neves.
Yeah.
I suppose you only need to look at where Wolves finished up to see what a good job he's done. You've got to think only 2 seasons ago, fucking Wolves were in the Championship.
But for me, he's a box to box, like a Bruno. He's not a defensive.
I believe he's a good centre defensive midfielder. I believe he gets stuck in. I believe he dictates play a lot as well, Neves.
Yeah.
You got to think as well.
Yeah.
The guy is no slouch. He was the captain of Porto at the age of 20. The guy knows what he's doing.
Right, hang on, lads. We're getting off track here, man. Right, we got 2 players left. Right, 2 players left. This one, right, is basically because he's been touted with Arsenal, but United's name have been mentioned alongside Arsenal, and that is Quincy Promise, left winger at Ajax. Got contracts until 2024. He's got a market value of 16 million, 28 years of age, 20 appearances, 12
He's
goals.
28.
Yeah, 28 years old, mate. Yeah.
I wouldn't take him, man. No, who the hell is he?
I really thought like 22.
No, it says here, going by what it says here, 28 years old, mate. He was born January 4th, 1992.
Fucking let Arsenal have him. Let him have him.
Well, I'm only bringing him into it because United's name was mentioned to, I suppose, fucking push him out. Tout him up a bit. So Max says it's harder to get a yes from Pancars than Simon Cowell. I think it would, mate. Yeah. St. Mark says Mark must have a taste of my ball. Duke Nukem reference. Max says promise flopped at Sevilla. Mate, I wouldn't take Quincy Promise anyway. And like I say, I'm only mentioning him because he was linked with Arsenal. He's been linked with Arsenal, and United's name have been mentioned. So I thought I had to mention it.
If we're going to be after any Dutch wingers, I'd take the payback. I said that. Yeah, I don't see the point. Quincy Promise, I've seen him play in what was that fucking Mickey Mouse tournament we had last season? Was it it was like a friendly for international matches.
Oh, okay.
The one that Portugal won. And Holland.
The Euros.
No, it was afterwards. It was like Nations League.
Nations League for the
the Nations League. I've seen Promise playing that, and I didn't see anything there that was like I'd say a bang average winger.
That's a no from you then, Diedrich.
Yeah, the fact he's still at Ajax, he's 28, fucking kind of says it all, really, doesn't it?
Yeah. Pancars, I'm guessing it's a no from you as well.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, because
but Marcus, you know why why there's a lot of no's from my side.
Why is that?
Because you have Sancho. You have Sancho. He's 20 years old. He has Champions League experience. What has the guy not achieved, like in terms of in playing in Champions League tournaments and playing for Dortmund week in, week out as a 20-year-old, scoring 17 goals and 15, 14 assists, whatever. And what has Traore done, man? At least 24, 25. There's levels, according to me, in terms of ability.
There's
Because
levels, but this is the bloody alternative, isn't it? Really, we can't get him.
This is why it's
No,
called
yeah.
Sancho alternatives, mate. Sancho's off the table here.
Obviously, I mean, I get what you're saying, Pankaj. But we can't be Pat Sancho or nothing. As much as we fucking don't get me wrong, I love Sancho over all of these guys all day long, every day of the week. But
yeah,
Dear,
we'll be good to a good trophy. Come on, but Sancho or nothing. Like, share, and subscribe. Good night.
No,
right, dear,
Sancho, fuck off.
it's a no from me as well.
No,
No,
yeah.
no.
I mean, he's just, mate. I thought it was laughable when United's name was mentioned, but I thought I'll best just bring it up. You don't even need to tell me why you wouldn't, mate. It's pretty obvious. Right, this one, kind of an unknown, but it's been mentioned quite a few times on Twitter in the last 48 hours, and Mark Atherton brought it to our attention. Emiliano Buendia at Norwich got a contract until 2024. 23 years old, Argentina, primarily a right winger. 2 goals for Argentina. He's got a value of 13.5 million. 36 games this season, 1 goal, 7 assists. That's in the Premier League. In the FA Cup, he's had 2 appearances, 1 assist. In the League Cup, he's just had 1 appearance. Bit of an unknown to me, this one, I'm afraid, even though it's in the Premier League. But looking at the stats here, I mean, 23 years old, ticks a box. Right winger, ticks the box. The price tag ticks the box. And the goals and assists, I think, for a right winger is pretty decent, I think. When you compare his to Adama Traore's, they're not all that different in terms of the stats. Rodney says, regarding Quincy Promes, he's spent quite a few years in Russia with Spartak Moscow before going back to Ajax. Chris, welcome, mate. Just seen you tune in. He says Ole should walk away if they don't get Sancho. Why should we accept failure to sign Sancho? Only Woodwank and the Glazers are blocking the move. Rodney says that Sancho is a poster boy. Max says Brandia, good stats for a Norwich team which finished bottom. Spot on, Max, yeah. Relegation. Yeah. And Mark says Brandia had the 4th most chance creation in the Premier League this year in a shit team. Now, this is interesting, right? Because obviously the team's been relegated. They've gone down a division. This lad, and I think that other lad, Cadwell, is it? Cool. Yeah. I think those 2 lads have been standout performers for Norwich over the course of the season. And I think these 2 are going to be on the way out. So, Buendia, Pankaj, what do you think?
I've not seen much of him. I can't really but yeah, I don't know. No, I wouldn't go. I don't know much about him. I can't really. What?
13.5 million. We just spent 9 million.
Yeah, I would take him. Yeah. Then yeah. Not a risk signing, and
yeah. Cantwell, that's the lad. Yeah, well done, Rodney. Cantwell.
Yes, Cantwell.
Akil says Buendia has been a shining light for Norwich in a pretty difficult season. Would take him considering the money and the age. I think so. Yeah. For the price, you can't go wrong with Buendia. Says Mark, 13 million, mate. Diedrich, he ticks the boxes, mate. Price, age, position, the stats compared to Traore. He's played the majority of the Premier League season. He only missed 2 games. He's played 36. What do you think?
I'm going to go against what you're saying. I'm going to say I'd rather have Campbell. And if we're taking a pick of wingers from the teams that went down, I'd rather have David Brooks from Bournemouth.
Okay.
Left-footed, quite quick, Welsh, knows the league, eye for goal. Yeah, I'd rather go for Brooks. But obviously,
I
it's a
quite
case
rate
of
Brooks, to be
Ben.
honest.
Well,
Yeah, rate Brooks, man. He's a good player.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Rodney says very true. Dear,
Yeah,
when Dear?
referring to the statistic, you're telling me he's far better. I think I don't know. I don't see him play, but especially for the right wing, where we need players here, not on the left wing. But I fancy this guy, Cantwell. Cantwell is.
Yeah.
I prefer him over because on this right wing, I prefer to have Cantwell on the midfield. So I don't know the guy, but I think. But
Mate, that's interesting because Diedrich, he's going with you, mate. This Cantwell lad. You know, I
he's
remember
good.
you pointing him out
Great.
when we
Yeah,
played
yeah.
Norwich. He scored that belter against in the FA Cup, wasn't it?
well, it wasn't really a belter. I'd say it was more of a Romero mistake. This is why I don't really trust Romero. I think Romero should have better with it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think if you're going to be pulling players out of Norwich, I think it would be Cantwell. And sorry about this package, but Godfrey.
Godfrey.
Yeah. Right, so it's 2 for it, 1 against. Let's see what everyone's saying here. Chris says Ollie wants Sancho. If we go down the road signing second and third choice players because the Glazers don't want to spend, then that's the same road Jose and LVG went down by signing lesser quality players. Mate, if it happens again, I wouldn't blame Ollie if he walked away, actually, like Skull at Oldham.
I don't think he would.
I don't think he would, but
we all live in this world where we see Ollie is that sort of person. We all said that when he first come in, didn't we? We always said, "Oh, Ollie will be that manager. If he don't get his own way, he'll be like, nah, I'm done. And I think straight away within a couple of weeks, we kind of knew fucking Ollie's going to toe the line. As much as we love him, he's going to toe the line to keep in that job as much as he wants, as long as he can. It's his dream job, but you can't really blame him. Unless it were Keane going in to take that job or something, then you could understand. But it's his dream job. The guy was the Molden manager before this. Fucking anyone's going to do as they're told, aren't they? Maybe after a couple of seasons, after he's won a few trophies or something like that, where he stands in a better position, he could then maybe be a bit more arsey with the board and make demands. But I think at the minute it's fucking yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full. So.
Well, Max says if you've got those stats for a relegated team, what stats could he have for a team that's higher up? And mate, you think of him with Bruno and Pogba, and you look at the different ways Ollie could implement him into that team, that Cantwell lad, and mate, I wouldn't be surprised if he put a slight bid in there for him. So I don't think. I always said that I thought United's first signing would be a bit of an unknown, and they go and sign that young lad, 17, who can play across the front three from, where was he from? Partizan, Diedrich?
Partizan Belgrade.
Yeah. Chris says, totally agree, Marcus. I would have Ollie's back too if he walked away. I wouldn't blame him, mate. If the Glazers fucked him around with money, your hands are tied behind your back, aren't you?
Can I just put in a sec? Akil brought in a good player. Sorry from Watford. I mentioned him the other night to Ross. Yeah. I'd definitely take him 100%.
Yeah, there was Ismaili Sarr, isn't it?
Yeah.
St. Mark says, Diedrich, you are a sexy bastard. Nice. You got family.
True. No,
very true.
Can't argue with that at all.
Oh, mate, comment of the night, that one. Akil says, I think we should go for Cantwell, even if we sign Sancho. Instead of signing Grealish for that money to sit on the bench, why can't we have him to be backup for Bruno? Mate, that's a good point, man. I think Cantwell's one of them sort of players. He might have been in the Norwich first team, but I think at United, he wouldn't be too bad, mate. He'd understand the share role in there.
Yeah. Can't see Cantwell keep banging on door. Why have you picked Rashford over me? What's going on?
I think that could be a decent signing.
Marcus.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, last summer, Ollie got his 2 main targets, which were one was Saka and Maguire, right? The club's first transfer targets, basically. And this summer they want Sancho, right? Because last summer they were linked to Sancho. So do you think the club could really screw this deal? Because it's if you get Sancho and they're linked to Grealish as well. So they are going for the first uh, target of players. So
I
there's no
think
alternatives to me, to my understanding.
Pankaj, you see, I understand what you're saying about first choice targets, but arguably we didn't get the other target who was a first choice, Fernandez. We only got him in January because of the injuries. Apparently, we were chasing Fernandez, but we just couldn't get it over the line. And then you've also got to look at the likes of Haaland. He was first choice striker. We didn't get him. Bellingham, I'm assuming he was going to be first choice, not obviously to go straight in, but we obviously wanted him, and they let him down on him as well. I mean, I think maybe you're right in what you're saying. The first season, first transfer window, it might be a case of what we did to Mourinho, kind of honeydick him a little bit. Get him in, be like, oh, whatever players you want, we'll give you. Season after, yeah, we'll give you a few. The season after that, fuck off, you're not getting anything. I think this season, we will generally see how much our board are actually going to back us this season, because we've seen it the season when we finished second. That was the time to invest heavily to improve on what we'd built, and anything we did, we went backwards. So I think this is the test for our board. If they're serious about challenging, they would take advantage of the situation and think about the club rather than thinking about the fucking wallet and the bank balance.
I think he's on it there, Pankaj, mate. I think this season, seeing as the transfer window's open for near enough 3 months, if the board can't bring in at least 3 players, I think 3 quality players, which I don't think they're going to do, then I can see it going tits up. I already do. I think they're going to waste so much time on this Sancho deal that if it does go through, it'll probably go through just before we kick off in September. And then they'll be panicking and rushing around for the last month to find a decent centre back and then probably another midfielder. And then don't forget, mate, in 3-4 months' time, they've got to find another striker as well. They've got to be busy.
I have a prediction. My prediction is we're going to go to the final of the Europa League. We're going to win the Europa League. And after the Europa League final, the next day, you're going to hear something about Sancho in that particular week.
You reckon? Yeah.
I think if we get to the final and we lose, I guarantee the day after we fucking have a bid accepted for Sancho.
Yeah, I feel agreed.
Day after.
Dear, what do you think? Is he right down there or what? Europa League final, then they announce it?
After the Europa League, maybe, I don't know if after that, or it can go to October as well. Because with the deal of Sancho, I think if we don't sign players now, we have to fuck up, man. We need to sign 2-3 quality players in this squad. If we want to take the momentum, if we want to go ahead, if we want Man United back where we belong. I think Chelsea did business already. Chelsea, City, even Liverpool, they already did business. But why are we taking time to concretize this deal? So we have to go for it. Maybe after the Europa League, yes.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Rodney says they didn't invest because they saw Champions League money, but too many fans say it's all about the Champions League. They will feel they can do what they like. Chris says we have made huge cuts to the wage budget. Our transfer spend has been really low the last few years. Lack of money excuse won't work for me. It won't, mate, considering they took that loan out the other week. Akil says Ollie was talking about exploiting the COVID situation to get players for cheap from struggling clubs. Wonder if we do that. It could be, mate. It could
Woodward
be.
came out and shushed that within a week or two.
Mate, I can see us, honestly. I can see us going down the Dan James route, mate. I really can. Getting a couple of young, talented players. I mean, it's already started. We got that one in already from Partizan. 9 million, 17 years old, play across the front three.
They said he's the next Hazard.
Next Hazard.
He's the next Messi.
Yeah, I saw him play.
It's
really, it's a desperate situation. I don't think the money's there. I really don't. I don't think the money's there for Sancho at 108 million. And I think
You don't think
what,
But when it's sorted out, yeah.
mate? I don't
I
think.
think
I honestly don't think they're going to pay the money for him. I really don't.
I think if they didn't have the money, there wouldn't be any discussions if there are any talks.
Yeah, we wouldn't have agreed a contract with him. What's the point? It's just wasting every fucking time.
Yeah.
I don't see right how they can say. You know, I can understand Dortmund's point of view on it. I can understand their stance on it. 108 million, that's what he's worth. 108 million pound. And like Manchester United have been told that repeatedly. They've known that since fucking beginning of the year, before this virus. You know, Ed had 3 months off of football here, basically, to sort this deal out. So when the window opened straight away, it was like, done, bam, you know, let's carry on, Europa League, finish off the season, see where we are then, mid-August, get another 1 or 2 in before we kick off again in September, right? That's the way I would do things. That's the way any national fucking rational CEO
But you know what
would
it
do
is? But you know what it is? It is,
What?
you know, Ed Woodward, how Ed Woodward is with installments and shit. He does ridiculous installments, and this player, if he wins the Ballon d'Or, he brings those things into play, into negotiations, and how he brings up installments paying over 3 years or 2 years, 70 million, 30 million. And you've seen this pattern in the previous transfers as well. So that's why it takes a bit of time, and he comes up with this ridiculous, stupid installments or add-ons. And
But this
Dortmund don't
is
want
it, mate. This is what gets me, no Packard, right? How many times Dortmund got to say it? 108 million. It's in plain fucking English.
This is the thing that frustrates me. Everybody thinks that transfers are paid in full fucking as soon as they're not.
Yeah.
But the very rarely transfers are done anyway, so I don't understand why this is news that Man United are going to pay for it in 3 installments. 90% of transfers are like that anyway. Even going back to the olden days when players would be moving for fucking 2 or 5 million, it'd be paid across a couple of payments. I can only think of a few where it's been paid in full. Alan Shearer's, for one, from when he went from Blackburn to Newcastle, that was paid in full. But majority of the time, transfers are done like that anyway. Clubs don't have fucking 30, 40, 50, 100 million sat there in the bank ready to just go, oh, here's 100 million. It'll always be paid across installments. But the argument is, basically, they're saying, I think United are happy to pay the 108 million. It's just a case of the initial bulk being paid up in one. Dortmund want 70 million paid up front, whereas United probably want to, like we said, they withdrew 150 million. Chances are they want to put 50 million down, take 50 million out of that, and then they're left with 100 million to play with. That'll be what it'll be. It won't be a case of we're trying to get it for less. I believe no matter which way this deal is done, it's going to be 108 million in total. But it's just a case of United will not want to put the most money up front. They won't. They want to save as much money.
We need 2 to 3 signings this summer. We'll struggle at top 4. I think when you look at the other clubs, right, you look at what Chelsea's done already, mate. They'd already got fucking Werner and Ziyech in before the last game.
Yeah, they're getting Havertz as well, aren't they? And fucking
they're going to nab him as well, mate. Right, and then you got Man City have made a couple already as well, haven't they? Liverpool got bought that winger in, or left back. Sorry,
Arsenal got Willian. Yeah,
Arsenal are haggling. You know, they're more worried about Ozil's wages and trying to get him off the book. I mean, they can't even pin Aubameyang down to a contract yet. Diedrich, can you be found on Grindr, by the way?
He's asking me if I can be found on Grindr, which is a gay dating app. No, I can't be found on there. I can be found on an app called Rumbler, though, which is an app where you meet up with people. Basically, it's Tinder for fighting. So you meet up with people, punch fuck out of each other. So I said, if you'd like, I can meet you.
There you go, take Mark. Chris says supposedly we've just offered 60 million plus 20 million next year. That's a joke of an offer. I think we could negotiate a deal down to 95 million or something like that if Woodward took his head out of his arse. Chris, mate, I totally agree. I think, it's pretty obvious they're not budging on the price. Pay the fucking money have it done, mate. Pay 50 million this year, 58 million next year. That's it, done, simple. It's so easy to do. But when it's Ed Woodward, you take every fucking penny into account. Right, we're going to end it there then, because that's over an hour, boys. So well done for lasting. Thanks to everyone who's
and Marcus wants to watch me play Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm going to watch Diedrich play Ghost of Tsushima on
Don't forget to
his
like, share, subscribe.
YouTube channel. So again, Pancars, go on.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
There we go. And dear Sean did, mate. These Indian lads, they're so in sync, aren't they? Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Right. Thanks, you three, for coming on. Absolute amazing. Pancars, Dear, and Diedrich.
And thanks
Mac,
for the
Chris says he agrees with Max with our current squad. We could struggle to make top four this season. I think with this squad, mate, they won't even get out of the Champions League group, to be honest. I really don't. I think it'll be all that hard work, mate, will be out the window in the first group phase of the Champions League. Provided if they don't get any signings and quality signings, I think that's what's going to happen. On and off the pitch says, well done, guys. Brilliant. Cheers, Rodney, mate. Your turn next. Chris says, good show, lads. Max says, thanks. Bye, everyone. Last comment there, Max says, other teams are improving the strength and depth of our squad. We have not yet. Mate, I think we all know where to put the blame for there, mate. Up the top. Woodward.
Sancho or we riot.
Sancho
or we riot.
I'm going to bang the Traore drum, mate. I'm going with Adama Traore. That's my one. But cheers, lads. Thanks for everyone for joining. See us. Actually, we'll speak tomorrow because we'll be doing the pre-show and post-match and all that. Or watch along, whatever we're doing. So, see you tomorrow.